Hey guys, today's video is going to be a health update. I have Rowdy as my little helper today, apparently. So, yeah. But I'm doing this health update a little bit differently. I'm going to do this the way I used to do health updates when I was going through getting my POTS diagnosis, with the number of appointments I have over the next 6 weeks and just everything going on. I figured it's just going to be easier to do it this way than it would be to write it all down and then sit down with a notebook and kind of go through it all. So let's jump right in. Okay, so if you have not watched my last health update, I will link it in the cards. I don't know which one it is. It's one of the cards. But I am going to give a little bit of like a backstory. When I finished off my last health update, I was not sure if I was going into a flare Okay, but like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going into a flare or not. I had at the beginning of October, I felt my gastritis getting worse. If you are new here, I have 5 chronic illnesses, one of which is chronic gastritis. So I'm pretty good at this point of knowing which illness is bothering me just based off how I feel, because even though a lot of them have overlapping symptoms, depending on which illness is bothering me, the symptoms a little bit different. So I talked to my doctor and like sent him a message on my chart because I did not want to make an appointment, and when I tried to schedule an appointment, he was a month out. So I'm thinking, okay, it's not worth it. We'll just message him and see what he says. So I did what he said and was starting to feel a little bit better. And that went on for about 5 days. That's when my flare consideration came into place, because I was still extremely nauseous and still vomiting, and I have cyclic vomiting syndrome. I'm sorry about the cat. He wants to go outside, but it's raining, so he can't. So yeah. But I kept thinking, if this is my cyclic vomiting syndrome and I'm going into a flare, then something's wrong, because this isn't bad yet. This isn't every time I eat, I am throwing up. This isn't, I can't keep water down. And it never got to that point. What happened was I started feeling better about 3-4 days later, and my gastritis symptoms kept picking up and kept bothering me. And then on the 28th of October, and I can remember this because I was laying in bed trying to sleep and my body was in so much pain that I couldn't. And I was throwing up again. And I'm thinking, I don't throw up at night. I don't know why, but I just don't. So I had loaded up on my meds, and it was late, and I'm thinking, okay, I've got to send a message to my doctor. So I sent him a message that night and loaded up on some more meds and tried to get some sleep. I woke up the next morning with a message saying, take 2 omeprazole a day, and I'd already done that. And that if that doesn't help, then come see someone. Well, with my schedule and everything, the only way it worked out, and there was only 2 doctors available, and I've seen the one before, and he's not good with me at all. I confuse him. He has told me that multiple times. And I mean, okay, we're not going to do that. So we're just going to wait it out. And we're going to see my regular doctor. And I know he doesn't like when I do that, especially in situations like I was in, but I didn't have a choice. Between my schedule and how they book up so quick at the office and everything, it wasn't worth it. I was waiting, and I was going to the doctor the following Monday. So that brings us to where we are now. It is the 6th. It took me a couple days to process what went down at my doctor's appointment on Monday. Sometimes I have to do that. Even with years of dealing with chronic illness. Sometimes I just have to process it. But basically, I am in a chronic gastritis flare. The meds I was on are no longer working. So the omeprazole is not working. And I have to go see a GI doctor. That's the one thing I had not done yet, because my doctor has been able to manage it, and I've been able to manage it with things, but we're at that point of it's not manageable anymore. And we've got to figure out, is there something else going on? That appointment, he told me at the office, they are backed up. It's going to be at least mid-December before you can get in. And I'm thinking, okay. And sure enough, he was right. I called to schedule my appointment yesterday, and the earliest appointment they have is December 19th. So I go December 19th to the GI doctor. And until then, I am on, if the pharmacy ever gets it in, I will be starting a new medication to see if that helps my stomach. The doctor said if it helps, I don't have to go see the GI doctor. And the more I'm thinking about it, I might just go see the GI anyway. Because even though I didn't want to, maybe I'm better off just going to get evaluated and having some more tests done and seeing if there is something else going on. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm in limbo right now because my pharmacy doesn't have my meds in that I need. And the GI doctor is over a month away. That's life with chronic illness. Sometimes we wait more than we do anything. But tomorrow is my appointment with my endocrinologist. I've been waiting for this appointment for over a month. And it's finally here, and it's like, ugh. But because I saw the regular doctor Monday, I kind of know what to expect. And it helps having a doctor tell you what to tell the other doctor. Because sometimes I feel like I get in there and I just get clusterfucked, or I just get all confused and I don't know what to say. Like, that's how I felt Monday. And the doctor I saw Monday is my regular doctor. I've seen him countless times and I'm used to him, but Monday when he asked me what was going on with me, I didn't know what to tell him. I didn't know how to explain it to him. So at least for the endocrinologist appointment, I know what to say and I know how to explain it. And I will be vlogging the endocrinologist appointment. I don't know how much I'm going to share in that video, but I am going to vlog it, and then I will put, after I process it, I'm going to do another update and for this video. Because these videos are more or less, if you don't want to watch my vlogs of all these appointments and all this medical stuff, then you can come here and just get like a brief little update. Even though these videos aren't brief anymore. So, yeah. Okay, so it's been a few days since I've been on here to actually give you an update. Last update I gave was talking about having to go see a GI, and I got that scheduled. So, yeah, but that's not till next month. So the next part of this update is going to be my endocrinologist appointment. I saw my endocrinologist on the 7th. Well, I saw the endocrinologist on the 7th, and after talking to him, he basically said it's a low possibility that you have adrenal insufficiency. But I knew with my health history and with all the stuff that I've been through, that when a doctor says low possibility, most likely I have it. By the time my appointment was, it was too late to actually do the testing that day. So I had to schedule out for the test. I managed to get in for a lab appointment on the 11th. So on the 11th, I went in for my blood test. And that didn't really okay, apparently I need to eat. But on the 11th, I went in for my blood test. It took 2 days to get the results back. And in the process of those 2 days, I was having more symptoms with my GI issues and with me starting my new medication. I had to go off my omeprazole, and my doctor put me on Protonix, and I started that on the 9th, and by the 11th I was super dizzy, super lightheaded, and I was having abdominal pain at night. I just figured I was dizzy and lightheaded from the blood draw. Every time I have blood drawn, it does not matter what I do, what I eat, what I drink. The day I have my blood work done, I feel like crap all day. So, yeah, I just kind of associated that with my blood draw and went on with it. But I kept kind of noticing it. I'm still here and there with it, but it is getting better, so crossing my fingers by the time this video goes up, I either won't have that problem or I won't be on this medication anymore. But we will see. Okay, so now fast forward to yesterday. I got my test results back, and I do not have adrenal insufficiency, but my cortisol level is slightly elevated. Like, it's like 1 or 2 numbers above what it should be. So it's not a huge deal, but it is slightly elevated. And then the ACTH level, which is basically just a fancy thing for, they measure, it's something to do with they measure something that tells your brain how much to produce, they measure the hormone in your brain that tells your adrenal glands how much of the cortisol hormone to actually release. That's how I'm understanding what that test was. And that number is typically between like 7 and like 68. I think that's what it said on my paperwork or my test results. I'm not getting them out. And my level was 108. So there's a big elevation there. And of course, my doctor's out of town this week. So yesterday, my phone's pinging, and there's only one app on my phone that makes the noise that the MyChart app makes. And I'm thinking, okay, it's almost 7 o'clock. That's late for the MyChart. Unless it's some kind of because you'll randomly get messages like, hey, you need to go get your flu shot, pneumonia vaccines, all that stuff. They just kind of get sent out to everybody. So I'm thinking, okay, that's what it is. No, it's one of my doctor's partners, because my doctor's on vacation this week. One of his partners was reviewing his charts and test results for his patients, and messaged me to tell me, okay, so this is what's going on. You don't have adrenal insufficiency, but both your levels are elevated. And he said, more than and he told me there's nothing to be alarmed about. And I've learned over the years, when a doctor says there's nothing to be alarmed about, you should probably be a little bit alarmed. But basically, I'm probably going to have to go in for more tests. Next week when my doctor comes back, I'll find out if I actually have to come back in for more tests, which I probably will. So yeah, I'll update you next week when I'll update you next week when my doctor comes back and I find out what I have to do about the elevation in the levels. Okay, so it is December 18th? Yes, 18th, and I'm finally back on here with another part of my health update. It has been a whirlwind getting these test results back. Like, I heard back from my doctor's partner, but I had not heard back from my doctor yet. My doctor got back into town, I don't know when, but I heard from him on December 9th with my test results and where we're supposed to go from there. And it's just kind of like, okay, and I've taken some time to process it, because when you have a chronic illness, any type of test result, even a normal test result, is like, okay, wait, process. Then when something's actually showing, you've got to process it even more, I think, because you're not used to that at most. At least in my case, I'm not. So yeah, but my cortisol level is normal. When I went in to the endocrinologist, I was being tested for adrenal insufficiency. So I don't have that. And that's just based off my cortisol level being normal. And my ACTH level is elevated quite a bit. Turns out that is normal in POTS patients. And it's basically confirming my POTS diagnosis. Like, okay, good, great. we've confirmed my POTS diagnosis once again. But it's like, okay, so where do we go from here? What do I do? And honestly, I could just walk away and never go back to the endocrinologist. But he recommended following up with him in March or April. So I got an appointment for March 18th. So that's funny, 3 months from today. I go back to the endocrinologist. I'm going to have my cortisol and my ACTH levels rechecked. And based off what those test results show, we'll figure out where we go from there. I've talked to my PCP and he agrees that it's probably best to have it checked one more time just to make sure, because it is elevated, and he said that is normal for POTS patients, but it's also a little bit higher than what they expect for POTS patients, or what they typically see with POTS patients. So we're at this point, we're like, okay, let's just make sure there's not something else going on that could cause it to be that high. So yeah. That is the health update for today. And tomorrow I go to the gastroenterologist, and we go from there. I will be vlogging that appointment, so you will have that vlog, but I will also post updates in this video. So if you don't want to watch my whole big vlogs, like on my vlogs, like I think I've mentioned that in the intro for this video, then you don't have to, and you can just watch this one. So yeah, but tomorrow is another day and another appointment, and with me having so many chronic illnesses, that's what it constantly feels like. So yeah, I'll talk to you later. Hey guys, it is January, what day is it? 14th, and I have not done an update for this health update video since December 18th. I actually had to watch the last clip I filmed to figure out what the last update was. So the last update was on me going to my GI doctor. I went to the GI doctor on the 19th of December, and basically that appointment was, okay, so I don't think there's anything wrong with you, and if there is, it's all in your head. So yeah, but because you have POTS and you were referred to me by another doctor, and he wants me to do this test and figure out what's going on with you, we're going to do an endoscopy. That's basically what that appointment was. He kind of listened, he kind of didn't, he more or less, you could tell he wanted to blow me off, and he couldn't, because I've had GI symptoms for years that have not gotten any better. So yeah, but I went to that appointment. He said schedule an endoscopy and we'll go from there. And I am freezing, that's why I'm like doing this. So yeah, but I went to schedule the endoscopy, and they had one for the next, they had one for the next day. And at first I was thinking, this close to Christmas, do we do it, or do we hold off? And then I was thinking, you know what, let's get it done. And then if I end up having to like recover from it because of my POTS, then I have basically 2 weeks of bull crap. So I have time to recover from it. So the next day I went for my endoscopy. Nothing special. They did a biopsy of my stomach and a biopsy of my small intestine, basically trying to figure out, do you have celiac or do you have something else? My endoscopy showed absolutely nothing. It showed that I have chronic gastritis, but we already knew that. I didn't need an endoscopy to tell me that. And I'm still trying to figure out if the endoscopy showed something else, because when I went for the endoscopy, he said if there's food in your stomach, we'll send you for a gastric emptying study. And after my endoscopy, he told me everything's normal, but your next step is a gastric emptying study. So I wasn't sure what the hell was going on. If it had actually showed something or what. And I have pictures, but nothing that looks like anything. So that following Monday, I went on and scheduled my gastric emptying study for January 2nd. And might I add, it took me 9 days to fully recover from the anesthesia. I felt like crap. I was dizzy on and off. I was severely fatigued, just over it and done. So, yeah. And that was with a bag and a half of fluids. Because I asked for fluids and I sucked down that bag once they turned it up all the way. And then I sucked down another half a bag in between my recovery and me being forced to leave. And I could have probably taken that entire bag too, had they let me. I recovered, I think with the holidays, so that kind of put a damper on my recovery too. But January 2nd, I went for my gastric emptying study. And I did a whole vlog on that. Basically, I ate some radioactive eggs and waited at a hospital for 4 freaking hours. It felt like forever to take pictures, to be told, okay, you finished early. And basically, I was told right then and there, you do not have gastroparesis. And I know that's a good thing. And I'm happy I don't have it, but at the same time, I'm so desperate for answers that it kind of pisses me off that I don't have that. But my doctor reviewed those results, and after hearing from him, it's basically follow up with me in the clinic to figure out if you have SIBO or if it's just all in your head. He put on the test results for my gastric emptying study neuromodular IBS, and I guess that's his fancy way of saying she has IBS, but it's because she's crazy. I'm a female. I'm an automatic. She's just nuts. And the funny thing is, I'm not kidding. But yeah, either way, I see the GI doctor again February 5th. Looking forward to it? No. Looking forward to an argument? Always. I have a chronic illness. I've gotten really good at arguing with doctors or just shutting down, and with how I've been feeling lately, I might tell him off and I might just shut down and just walk out. And I've done that before too. And I do want to remind you that if you ever just can't with the doctor, you have full right to just get up and walk out. You don't have to give them a reason, you can just leave. The only thing is with me though, if I actually have something wrong and it has to be treated by a GI, because the hospital rules, once you have one, you can't switch. I'm stuck with this one. So, yeah. But other than that, knock on wood, I've been feeling pretty good. I've had a few rough days here and there, but that's normal. It's rough days. It's winter, I'm used to it, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. And this is how I'm gonna end this health update video. If you like these kinds of videos more than like just me talking about what's been going on for the last, I don't know how many months, then let me know by let me know in the comments which kind of health update video you prefer. I also will vlog these appointments and vlog these days, so if you just want to watch the vlogs, then that's perfectly fine too. But I do like to do these videos for the people who don't like to watch the vlogs. So, that's going to be it for this health update. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have not done so already, hit the red subscribe button down below. Other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you for my next video. Bye bye.